Well, Keith, as expected, we had plenty of prices in that little bit of a puzzle that we had of a card yesterday. That's going to continue today. Taislai Pusino with 2 wins, and Gene Aguilar, new bug boy, came in with a bang. Two winners in a good couple of seconds for yesterday. So that was kind of a nice little kickoff.
Back-to-back winners.
Yep.
And, and hit with that Phil Capuano runner.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for the people who played that horse. My partner Bill up there, 17-1 in the gate, crossed the wire at 5-1.
Okay.
Ooh, brutal, man. I lost a lot of value there throughout the race, but got to the front, kind of took a little pressure, then kind of steadied into the turn, but didn't panic. Horse came back, jock came back, good effort there, and then came back and got a perfect bob with Bandits Warrior in the next race.
Well, and I ran into Phil after that win, and he said Axel Concepcion won his first race in Laurel, or in Maryland, for me in February. So a nice little just tie-in there. Axel Concepcion, of course, the Eclipse winner, and then we get a new bug boy the same day we talk about that. So there we have it. Keith, 10 races on the card. Let's just dive right into this. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on. Pretty much the same as yesterday. Any track biases that you picked up yesterday?
No, did not. And the track played fair. And that's good. I mean, honest track all the way through and through. We've got a beautiful day today. 42 degrees, sun is shining. I think another good day ahead of us tomorrow. The week looks pretty good. Yeah, and how about our National Parade turning back off a little freshening? That was a good one there yesterday. We're very familiar with that runner. Paid a big number, too. Was a little dead on the board. I thought Brian had the horse lined right, 9-2, and just floated up. Was just kind of ignored, but settled off that quick pace and looped and swooped and got it done.
It was a good race to begin with. So that was a nice. I'm glad you brought that up. A couple of fun stuff. Liquidator as well, coming back into form. Just keying in, getting tie back on. That was nice. So so many exciting things yesterday. Let's just see what we have in store for today. Starting with that early pick 5 in race number 1, 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls 4 and up. Keith, you have the number 8 on top, 5-2 in the barn of Corrales and Torrealba. Let's go ahead and take a look-see at 2-back when we got a good result from this one at the Claiming 16.
Yeah, was caught wide early. You see the comment, 4 deep, battling into the turn. Not an easy thing to do with a speed horse. And the internals were pretty good, Callie. 22-4, 46-4. Is able to kind of shake clear mid-stretch. Unfortunately, gets run down by Ratified, the Nest runner, to the outside, who ends up coming back to win next out. 5-2 followed that effort up on a little bit of a jump. I thought got in a little trouble into the turns, just the slightest of steadies, never got comfortable. The positive thing here, 5-2, is kind of a paceless race. Baby Sox looks like the main speed, possibly catch the kitten. I think she's going to use that speed to her advantage. The negatives, Corrales on this kind of drop. He's 2 for 54 on the double drop, the 50% drop. That scares me tremendously. But I think you're going to see this rider get her into the race early. She should stay around. Anything close to those, middle higher 50 buyer figures gets her to the winner's circle. But I also like Catch the Kitten. I thought she ran very well. Stephen Kyle here with Barbosa, going long last time in the mud. Showed a lot of fight, shifted out late, and kept on. I think she's done this route the sprint move before and done well. I think she's a major player from just off the pacer. Stephen Kyle with a runner here in the first, and then Caitlin Kyle going to train one in the second, correct?
Yes.
So, yeah, we got a Kyle family theme going here in the early double at Laurel Park. Your top selection, Candy Arcade. Getting a little extra ground here today, just ran out of ground, but I thought got a really good ride last time out.
Right. It's just the kind of, well, and this one has won on a fast track before, but once they like the mud, you have to just kind of double. It's kind of like there's still that little bit of question, are they going to be okay with going back to the fast track after doing so well on a muddy track?
Yeah, I think she works here. Honor the Truth, just kind of outrun early, out sprinted. I think turning back in distance is okay. Baby Sox, we both have this one in there, 20-1 on the morning line. Right. I think we're thinking, okay, stayed around with Rudy, might see some improvement, has some back races that certainly work against this group, and I think she'll be thrust into the race early with Alvelo.
I agree, and I think that's the better way to go with this one today. Keith Fusel, 8-4-10-2 in race number 1. Keith, let's get to your early pick 4 that you have for us here today. Let's see how it looks. $16 ticket.
I hope my man Pigeon, who's watching, he checked in today. He's got $16 in his account. If not, maybe call me. I'll put a ticket in for you, Pidge. But here you go. 2 deep to get you started in the early pick 4. Feiner's Fillet, the 3 and the 5, super fabulous. A little spread here in the 3rd. I thought this was a tricky little race for the 3-year-old fillies. Maiden claiming variety, sprinting 2, 4, 6, 7. Race 4, trim it down. Bernie's on Fire, Royal Spy. They look awfully good to me in there. Race 5 with the 2 and the 7, 15-1 morning line for Seeker. I think will be part of that flow in race 5, going a mile in My Endeavor. Had a little traffic last time. We'll show you that video. I think a definite user. Tim Keefe barn doing well right now.
They are. That's in the barn that's certainly warming up here in the winter, which is good for them. Race number 2 is a claiming 20,000 for the 3-year-old fillies, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Keith, the number 5, Super Fabulous. Ricky Silliman, Angel Cruz, first in the barn for Ricky.
Yeah. I mean, he had this, I think, for one race, right, Cal? Back in the debut at Delaware. We've seen horses go back and forth for Belle Gable, but back to Ricky here. Lasix going on. A little pass off a break last time out, down inside at Parks. I think this one is run against the right kind. I think she's got good speed against this group. Capitude might go from the inside. I think she's got the ability to prompt if needed. On a little drop, can get it done. I worry. Feiner's Fillets here for Caitlin Kyle. First off the claim, a little confident bump up. A real gritty victory. She's shown the ability to go to the front. And I think, again, if Capitude wants to go ahead and send off of that route race, the ability to stay around from just off the pace, do some chasing and grinding through the stretch.
And there we have it, 5, 3, 4, 7 Floge you have underneath, and Funzalo for Vincent Bracchielli Jr. on the outside.
Yeah, Price Horse, you've got this one, and we got the same 4. Funzalo, lagged 4 to 5 wide, January 6th. Definite inside day. Going to give a little bit of a pass to that one. Going to need things to heat up to enhance the run from the back of the back with Thais Alaya-Postina.
Giving us a couple prices yesterday. We'll see if she can do it again here today. Race number 2, 3. It's 5, 3, 4, 7 for Keith Fustel. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming 20, going at 6 furlongs on the dirt. 3-year-old fillies. Keith, the number 2, just the thing. Yeah. Corrales, Brasino. I can certainly see this one caught my attention. I just went otherwise, but I can certainly see why you picked this one.
Might be a touch of a reach, but they don't go all the way to the bottom. Her last 2 races, not good at all. You see a negative buyer, 2 buyer. But she's got speed, and nobody in here, maybe this first will bring some flow. I think just the thing is quick enough. Comes out of a race 4-back Pimlico, that Mamoslino race, led to late. I think she can go ahead and clear. The fact that they've still kind of protected her, getting Lasix on, that's been a good positive ROI move for this barn to the front. I think carries this field a long, long way. Harmonizing also out of that race. 2 back at Pimlico on her slate. Not too bad. A little further back last time, was taken back well off the pace. I think you'll see her a little bit closer against this group. Also adding Lasix, Stalk, and Pounce in order for Harmonizing.
There we have it. You also have the number 6, No Walk in the Park. Kieran McGee, Martina Rojas, kind of an easy grab.
Yeah, a couple of these horses have very similar form and running styles. The 4, hers. The 6, Walk in the Park, Harmonizing. Who's going to trip out? Very tough to separate. Yeah, I'm going to key the 2, take the field as far as she can, and I'm going to use her top and bottom with those horses. I'm also going to toss in the 1. Lovely Charms of First are going to get Carlos Lopez here. Claudio works kind of pedestrian at Parks, but he's okay. Small sample the last 3 years on the dirt with the 3-year-old firsters. 2 for 6, 3 for 6 in the money. Half to your analysis. That's a horse that I think Claudio claimed off of Brittany. I think he's won like 3 races with that run, going a little bit longer, but maybe a little shot there. Tab the tote if it takes any money. This horse from the rail, Lovely Charm by Irish War Cry, but let's hope Just the Thing can go a long way in here.
Puzzle piece of a race in race number 3. Let's continue on trying to finish that puzzle here in race number 4, claiming 5,006 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 4, and you have a nice little stat on Royal Spy for Mikey Juralis.
Yeah, Mike Juralis here. Last 3 years on the dirt, 6 for 14. 8 for 14 in the money, 43% strike rate, first after the claim, with an ROI of 271. You're wondering a little bit, hey, a claim and a drop to the condition, taking advantage of that, and the jock stays. So he must have wanted to ride this guy back, right? They're going to give him the mount. Yomar Ortiz, we'll see if he gets taken today. But again, Bernie's on Fire is fresh, speed, Royal Spy at this distance. I think can sit mid-pack and bring a good run. I think he's got a good sustained run against this group to get it done. But he better be on his game. Bernie's on Fire comes in fresh. We have a video of this runner, right, for Hugh McMahon. Hasn't been seen since June at Charlestown. We're going to go back to the May 6th race, the second race back on the page. Open nickel, open company, Nash Vegas, call me Maestro. Okay, horse, Loaded Sniper, who's pretty quick. Bernie's on Fire, going to press that issue into around the turn. Holds pretty well. Stubborn is my short comment there. I like the way this one held. Protected with the waiver off the break is key to me. You got a 7-year-old, you still want to get another race out. He's quick. I don't know if anybody's quite as fast. If he breaks cleanly, he'll go a long way. I think he can handle pressure even against the likes of this group. This is a right kind of group for him to return against.
4-3-2-7 for Keith Fusel in race number 4. Race number 5 starts at the Rainbow Pick 6, and we're going to take a quick look at my ticket. Bit of a hefty ticket. I think it's about $43. Yeah, it's a bit of a hefty ticket. So 2 wide here in the first leg, 3 wide in the second in race number 6. Of course, that jackpot super high 5 race. Race number 7 is where it's in that maiden claiming 45. It seemed I think it's going to be very competitive. You have Brittany Russell, first-time starter, Lacey Gaudette, red-hot Lacey Gaudette, first-time starter, and Amy Symphony for Trombetta, and you have to include Destination for Miguel Vera. I mean, so with an 8, I just think ultra competitive, Keith. So a lot of options there. In fact, I wanted to add one more. I had to take it off. I single in on the number 8 in race number 8, Musical Heart, just coming into good form. Trying to keep it in good form. We'll see if that happens. And 3 deep in races 9 and 10, $43.20 for that Rainbow Pick 6, but let's dive into that first leg. A maiden claiming 12.5, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds. Keith, let's take a look at My Endeavor. You mentioned about this on your ticket. Got into a little bit of traffic trouble, but last time out, let's take a look at that.
Yeah, and gets pretty good position here, leaving the 3/8 pole, and then has to kind of work out a trip from about the quarter pole home. You see the short comment, fanned 4 wide into the stretch. I tell you, El Delary came back to win yesterday. This number also was bumped up by Andy Beyer and company, that winning Beyer, up to a 53. And off the first cut here, went from a 39 to a 45 for My Endeavor. But is able to kind of work out after being fanned and keeps on churning. Threatens here mid-stretch, not quite good enough. Shortening up an extra 16th of a mile. I like that. Even when I saw this race, I said maybe back to 7/8 will be perfect. I'll take the mile here for My Endeavor. Second Lasix can get position around the turn and bring a finish against this group that should work. I think this horse has won 2 today.
You're giving us a value underneath. And 15-1 morning line and Seeker for Hugh McMahon. Christian Maldonado gets the call. He's ridden once, so he's going for his 11th try today.
Okay. Yeah, just looking for a price. Second off the claim. First Lasix. Looking at the field. Again, a lack of real true speed. Ran very well at Delaware. Hit the road jack. Took pressure from that one. That horse had come back to run well over this circuit. Why not? Lasix going on 110 pounds. You get the 10-pound apprentice weight there. Let's go to the front. Let's see how far you can go in here. I think value abounds here for Hugh McMahon's runner, the 2 Seeker. But My Endeavor, I think, has that finish. Tis a winner out of that same race, as I believe is a user. And Sir Pallet Sprints, you've got this one in the mix as well. Shipping in for Bobby Hawthorne. Change of tactics last time. It worked. Now going to go the 1-turn mile. That's a 2-turn mile up at Penn.
We'll see if that one appreciates that kind of configuration over here. Keith Fusel, 7-2-6-9, and we will be right back in 5 seconds, maybe 30 seconds.
Okay.
Who knows? Haven't been counting, and we will be back for Saturday's card.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sports safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
jackpot super high five begins in this race and is only in race number 6 in this claiming 10,000, which have never won 3, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-4-year-olds and up. Carryover coming at you, still sticking around that $5,000-$6,000 level by the time we get there to race number 6. Keith, you have the number 7, as do I, in Smooth Rico. This is in the barn of Kieran McGee, Carlos Lopez.
Interesting. Kieran's got Bo's Bourbon in here as well. Speed, Young Turk, Speed.
Yep.
I thought, our top selection ran very well last time at 7/8 of a mile. Looks to be improved a little bit recently over the last couple. The shortening up a furlong works. I think there's a rating gear in there. I'll take the shot. Smooth Rico. Got to time that move perfectly. Probably quarter pole head of the lane. Let's hope he's got the finish. He's gonna need it. He's gonna need to run probably close to his top race if he's gonna win it. We're both one. You're using Austin from Boston. I think he's kind of an all-or-nothing horse today. Yeah, I think we agree there. I think Sponsor's interesting. You got this one as well. Shortening up, just kind of lost out on everything. Just was thrown off key early on at a mile and 16th. Good trip 2 back at a mile. He can sprint. He's won at this distance before. A rider that I'm really liking now, Andre Chavez, is working out trips. He's thinking out his rides. I can't tell by watching him. Even yesterday on a horse, he dropped into the backside. Just didn't have the horse leaving the 3/8. But I like the way he's riding. Sponsor's going to get flow. I think he's going to really run into this race along with Disputed Notion. Another price horse here, 8-1 for Brasino and Carlin Tapscott. I like there's lots of ways to go. Austin from Boston certainly could get over bet. He's a 6-year-old that's made, 8 starts, freshened up off a galloping performance, steps up into condition, down in tag. Yeah, if you want to just throw him in like in your multi-races, use him. I don't know if I can trust him today. That's my thought.
And I get it, but the one thing that sold me on him is that I'm taking a look. He's coming off of a little bit of just a touch of a layoff. You take a look at that layoff from October 22 to the July 23. He gives a good performance.
Yes,
so I don't trust him as an 8-5.
Right.
But throw him in there.
And
see if he'll show up.
And you're looking at when you've got a horse like this, you might be a little bit on borrowed time. You just, that's it. 8 races as a 6-year-old. Pick what you think is an easier spot. And for his running style, he's probably going to like what he sees up in front of him going into the turn and leaving the 3/8. So, yeah, that's how I would play it. But I'm going to key around the 7. And if this horse kind of gets overbet a little bit, I know I'm going to get value with this 1 and the 10 in here.
You will, certainly. 7-1, 10-2, a lot to go, different ways to go in that jackpot super high 5 race. Race number 7, maiden claiming 45 for the fillies, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Keith, you have the number 7 on top, as do I, on the outside Society Ball. For Lacey Gaudette, Jamie Rodriguez gets the call.
Yeah, we got a late change there, Cal.
Oops.
That's going to be Thais Liapastina.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no J-Rod today. I think today, tomorrow, and Friday.
Great. Well, not great, but.
Yes, but anyhow.
I'll check into that. Thank you, Keith.
That was a kind of a tell to me, though, when I saw this in the early things, PPs came out. You had a jockey trainer combo. It was 50% over the last couple of years. So to me, it only showed one workout on the early cut of my PPs, and now only shows 3. Got to work in. So now has 3 works? I saw, and got to work in the other day on the 23rd in between the weather. I like that. I like the family. You've got a mare that was stakes place. Second dam, really good. You've got, I think the second dam was, you got kin to Majestic Reason. Lots of good horses in there. I'll take the shot. And Thais Liapastina with Lacey is very good as well. So why not? Will this one be ready to go and try to beat Destination? You had something to say about the workout, so go ahead.
No, I mean, I did notice that with another first-time starter of Lacey Gaudette, didn't have a lot of works.
Okay,
and I think it was a winner first. I think it was either 1, 2, 3 first time out. So
good angle.
You know that the bottom of other works is being done somewhere else. They're kind of just being shipped in, getting the gate card, tightening all the screws. So nuts and bolts, however you want to phrase it. But that's just the one thing that I noticed. There was another stablemate that was like that.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, kind of tab to see what kind of money comes in. The one Destination, we have video. I would say, stamp her as the horse to beat in here of a very impressive debut. She was well meant in this race, bet down to 5-2 for Miguel Vera. Took pressure, was on the better part of the track on the 29th, but took pressure from Hart. The Brittany Russell first, who came back kind of against the grain next time out in the stakes. But she holds quite well. She's determined, upper stretch, keeps on willingly, 5 clear of her next competitor. Right back for a barn. When you really look at he does run a slew of horses. But his second start over the last 5 years, I think he's like 30% with an ROI. It's like around 7. So Destination ran really strong and true in debut. Right back here for Dark Hollow and Company. It'll be interesting. That was Lacey's horse yesterday, right, for Dark Hollow, Marilyn Moon. Uh-oh. Is she going to beat it today with the first-time starter Society Ball? A little gamesmanship there.
Who owns that horse? Squire. Yeah. No. A little bit of a mix-up there.
Yes. Enemy number 9 is one coming off the bench here for Corrales, getting Lasix that I like. Off the pace type ran. Very good first couple starts. Corrales not really a guy, he strikes first time out. This horse ran really good first time out, good second time out, and then just too tough in the Maryland Million last.
It's chaotic in there.
Yes, and a little trouble in its most recent start back in November. But retooled here, I think if things heat up, this is a horse at a 12-1 morning line that could rally into it for a good piece. So 7-1, 3-6, Amy Symphony, 2 troubled starts, 2 good finishes. Let's hope she gets a clean trip today and could be closer.
That's what I'm banking on as well underneath. Keith Fusel, 7-1-3-6 in that maiden, claiming 45 in the 7th. Race number 8 is a claiming 5,000, 6 furlongs on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, Crowned Count Cristo you have in your top selection. Mario Sabre Jr., Georgie Hernandez gets the call back on this one.
Yeah, I just think, the speeds went 1-2 last time out. Was caught in between horses and never got comfortable enough to make a run. Dropping down just a little bit in here, you've got Big Hambone, Classy Solution is some speeds, maybe even Musical Heart coming in off a little bit of a break. Crown Kiss, that's it.
Count
the
Cristo.
7 horse,
yes.
The 7 horse has got the ability to sit, 4 or 5 out of it mid-turn. I think he's going to stoke up a rally and get by these. But your top selection, definitely Musical Heart. We've seen Jacobson to Corrales.
Yep.
I'll let you hit on that one.
Well, it's something that happens often, and it happens pretty well for the included connection. So, here's the thing: Jacobson has brought this horse down to Maryland. Only once, actually, in that just was entered on the 26th of November, was a vet scratch. And prior to that was a steward scratch without any kind of moisture at Penn National for the claiming 625. So that does give me a little bit of a back seat, but the form is too attractive within this field to just kind of knock it off. So on top of that, the barn has been doing well lately as far as at least shortening them up from route to sprint with a new horse in the barn, 4 for 17 as of lately. So you kind of have to look at it. This horse has had some time off. Let's see what we've got here. One work. In 49, that's enough to suffice.
Okay, yeah, and I think he'll set up shop just off those speeds. We talked about the 2 Classy Solution and the 5 Big Hambone. He's a horse going back, a stakes winner at 1 mile and 3/8 back in 2021. That is Musical Heart, Bahama Channel. Another one. There's Chavez again. I like the setup. I hasn't won at this distance, but he's faced the right kind. Southern District, a horse that came back to win off the claim for Donnie Barr. He's going to need a perfectly timed run. So settle him. If he chases too much early, I don't know if he can just kind of keep on going. A settle and a close in could work for Bahama Channel. I think he's going to like the setup today.
Yep, I agree. And on top of that, Annette Eubanks giving us a nice price yesterday as a win. So there we have it. Keith Fusel, 7863, race number 9. Penultimate race in Saturday allowance. Going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 4-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 5, Brother Conway. I know you're the biggest fan of this horse. You are, and this is great. Kieran McGee, Karamanos, of course, was entered twice. Races were canceled, but looking for win number 5 in a row.
Yeah, it's been a while trying to get this race back. So scratch the 2, Swift Shore, who I think was going to be a major player in here to kind of force that issue. Now he's out because I was back and forth between Classy or Brother Conway. Brother Conway riding a streak. He's won 4 straight. And man, just even through the binoculars last time watching him, he was so determined past the 8th pole. You go at this horse at your peril. There's no doubt about it. I don't know if there's anybody that can run. If he breaks cleanly that opening 1/8 of a mile, he should pop clear. loves this track. And Kieran, look, he's got 2 horses combined. They're 10 for 14 at Laurel. Talk about horses for courses.
Wow.
Brother Conway to the front, and to keep that streak alive.
Let's talk about the other McGee runner in class here, and let's go ahead and take a look at that last win 2 back on the 20th of October.
Yeah, and you give him a little bit of a pass in his most recent start. They went quick early. He was bumped, kind of knocked off his game early. 5.5 works, 6 works as well. We talked about his record. He's 4 for 6 with a second and a third at Laurel. Set up shop behind some really good horses. Sir Wellington, wonder what Craig is. There's Factor It In. That's a field similar to this. Maybe even when you look at all in all, might be a little bit tougher.
I agree.
And this guy just kicks it in 3 deep and says, see you later. The last 1/8 of a mile, plenty left in the tank. Classier, I think. If Brother Conway gets that pressure, maybe if he doesn't, he can kind of stalk and go by. I think the real threat just off the pace might be Cowan. But I like both of these McGee runners today.
It's hard. They're both very, very hard to deny. Let's touching really quick on Cowan. Any quick thoughts? I mean, wonderful performance in the Dave's Friend.
Absolutely. Looked like a winner. Came off the inside a little bit, made that move, got the lead. You got touch of a hang late. But Lasix going back on. He's won his last 2 with Lasix. So there you go for Cowan. And I think he just might be the closest pursuer mid-turn to Brother Conway.
What's your take on Greeley and Ben?
Yeah, he's a horse. Look at another only limited starts, 4 starts, 2 wins in second, and ran down the speed 2 races back. And the time before that, the lone speed of Johnny Z from Albany. He's back on Lasix. Might have run back a little quick between the Dave's Friend and the Gravesend. Now gets a little bit more of a break. Yeah, this guy, he's a crafty vet at the age of 10. And if things do get contested, look for him to make that late rush.
Okay, there we have it. Keith Fusel 5-4-3-1 with Brother Conway in race number 9. Race number 10 is a maiden claiming at 12.5, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds. Keith, you and I have Mini Speightster on top for Jamie Ness. J. Ron Barbosa, Jamie Ness getting 2 wins yesterday.
Yeah, we had a video earlier with My Endeavor out of that same race. This one was able to just get past My Endeavor, but he had even a tougher go. You got steadied early. He was caught wide down the backside before dropping, then had to alter course. Finishing up, he's got the finish here at the 1-turn mile. And again, tracking spot is going to work. I think Naughty Streak, though, this is another one. You've got Gene Aguilar dropping 14 pounds off of its most recent race, off of a break, second Lasix, speed. Handled pressure a long way, and it's going to get it again probably from return fire. All these guys, they've been facing each other, but might hold on at a little bit better price for you for your Exacta. Minimo as well, caught wide last time out against the grain in that same race, in the El Delary race. We know he's going to work his way inside to save ground. A more purposeful punch late going at the 1-turn mile. Looked like a winner 2 races back at this distance.
There we have it. Keith Fusel 4-2-9-7 in our finale for Saturday. Let's dive in to a couple of more numbers. Let's kind of put a microscope on it in the lightning round.
Okay.
Keith, your value play in race number 3 on the number 2, 12-1, just the thing for Corrales and Brasino.
Yeah, he's waited time, getting Lasix, hasn't taken this horse to the bottom yet. Catches a field I think she can clear against. Let's go to the front. Go as far as you can here at a 12-1 morning line. I'll take my chances with Corrales. A positive ROI first Lasix.
And your best bet of the day is, of course, in Brother Conway for Kieran McGee, Caramanos, the number 5 at 9-2 in the 8th.
You know what you're going to get. Price is going to come down, unfortunately, with that other scratch, a Swisher, who looked like his main threat on the front end. Keep the streak alive. You can go to the front and prove your position. He's going to have to work for it. There's no doubt there's some good horses in here that could be lurking once they hit the quarter pole.
Keith, you and I like talking numbers and stats, of course. Let's give you some more. Let's talk about the economic impact of the Maryland horse industry. It's grown to $2.9 billion, and that's 38% from this is a study by the American Horse Council, but it grew 38% between 2017 and 2022. From $2.1 billion to $2.9 billion. Industry is responsible for 28,434 jobs, and the horse industry wages total more than $1.24 billion. I have a lot more numbers here, Keith, but it's also home to 29 animal welfare organizations, 58 licensed stables that report offering rescue or sanctuary services, and with 12 equine-related associations with a total economic output of more than 24.8 million. Of course, the thoroughbred is the largest number of the breed in Maryland. And where was this other really interesting, just a lot of support there, just a lot of things going in Maryland with the horse industry.
Yeah, it's a huge impact. People just see racing. They see, horses and everything like that. No, I mean, there's an impact that goes far, far away from just here at Laurel or at Pimlico and some of the, the training centers and such. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, okay, so I finally got to it. Determined that Maryland contains over 717,000 horse enthusiast households, about 30% of the population, with a total horse population estimate of over 94,000. So more than 37,000 of those are thoroughbreds. Yeah. So there we have it. So with that, we are going to give you a show of more thoroughbreds for the rest of Saturday here, and we will take it to Dave Rodman to start that show.
All right, good luck.